In the deep, dark space near the edge of the Orion Belt, an alien ship called the Sarath moved slowly. It belonged to the Kareth Empire, one of the smartest and oldest alien civilizations in the galaxy. Their ships had the best scanners. Their minds could read almost any code. They were proud, clever, and fearless. Captain Vurek stood tall in the control room. His skin was silver blue, and his eyes glowed green in the dark. He was not afraid of anything, until that day. "Captain," said the sensor officer, "we have found something strange. A human warship. It's floating, not moving. But it still has full power." Vurek raised his head. "A human warship? Alone out here?" "Yes, sir. No signs of damage, no signals, no life. That was not normal." Human warships were strong, loud, and full of noise. They always traveled in groups, but this one was alone. Silent. Cold. Captain Vurek looked at the screen. The ship was black and sharp, shaped like a blade. No lights, no movement, just floating. He smiled. Humans are still new to space. Maybe they lost control. The officers laughed. They thought humans were brave but stupid. Wild creatures with strong weapons but weak minds. Vurek gave the order. "Scan it. Let's see what secrets they hide." The sensor officer pressed the scan button. At first, nothing happened. Then, alarms screamed, the lights flickered. The scanner screens turned red. The ship shook as if something had hit them, but nothing was outside. "Systems failing," someone shouted. "The scanner is burning." The officer who pressed the button fell to the floor. He held his head and screamed. His eyes turned black, his skin cracked like glass. Then he stopped moving. Another officer dropped his tool and stared into space. His mouth opened, but no sound came out. Blood ran from his ears. Vurek shouted, "Shut it down! Shut it down now! They killed the scan!" The ship went silent again. Vurek looked around. 5 crew members were dead. 3 more were shaking and could not speak. "What just happened?" he asked. No one answered. The only working officer whispered, "We saw something. Inside the human ship. Something that looked back at us." Vurek's hands shook. He gave the order to leave the area at once. They didn't try to touch the ship again. 3 days later, the Sarath returned to Kareth Prime. The High Council gathered. In a meeting, Vurek stood in the middle. His face looked tired. His voice was heavy. "We tried to scan a human warship," he said. "It attacked our minds. Our tech failed. 5 dead, others damaged." One council member asked, "Damaged how?" Vurek looked at the surviving officer who was now in a chair. His eyes were open, but he did not blink. He whispered the same sentence again and again. "We looked into the abyss, and it looked back." A silence fell over the room. The oldest council member, Grand Thinker Soren, spoke slowly. "This is not a ship. It is a trap, a living weapon. The humans made something with memory, with thought, maybe even with hate. They voted that day. No Kareth ship may scan a human warship again. Ever. In the shadows of Kareth, Prime's moon, the humans watched from a hidden base. A small drone floated, listening to everything. Inside the base, a human officer smiled. "It worked," she said. "They won't try it again." A younger soldier asked, "What did they see when they scanned it?" The officer looked at the dark screen showing the warship, still floating, still silent. "They saw what we left inside. The mind of a fallen hero. Angry, trapped, waiting." The young soldier looked afraid. "Is it safe?" the officer said. Nothing. She only looked at the screen and whispered, "Not for them." After the failed scan of the human warship, the alien ship, the Sarath, returned home. Most of the crew were dead or silent. Their minds were broken. Only one officer, a young alien named Telrin, was still alive and awake, but he was not the same. Telrin was taken to the science labs on Kareth Prime, the alien homeworld. Doctors and mind readers surrounded him. They wanted answers. What did he see inside the human ship? Why did their systems fail? What killed the crew? Telrin sat still in a clear glass room. His skin was pale. His eyes did not blink. He did not speak unless asked. Dr. Zarin, the chief mind scanner, stepped into the room. He spoke softly. Telrin, we need to know. What did the scan show you? Telrin looked up slowly. His voice was low. I saw a face, but it had no eyes, only fire, and the fire spoke. Zarin frowned. What did it say? Telrin shook his head. It didn't speak with words. It showed me memories, pain, anger, death, the war. Your ships killing their cities, burning their worlds. The humans remember everything. Zarin's hands began to shake. But that was years ago. The war is over. Telrin's eyes turned black for a second. Not for them, he said. Outside, the room, the other scientists watched through the glass. They turned on machines to scan Telrin's brain. The first machine sparked and died. The second machine worked for 5 seconds. Then the screen turned red and cracked. The third scanner tried to read his thoughts. It showed something for a moment. Symbols. Strange Earth symbols. A human skull. A burning planet. Then the screen melted. Dr. Zarin pulled the plug. Stop everything! One young scientist whispered. It's inside him. Zarin turned quickly. What? The ship, or whatever was in it. It followed him. It's still inside his mind. The council sent guards. Telrin was moved to a secure underground base. No contact, no tech, just stone walls and silence. But something strange happened. Telrin began drawing on the walls. Not alien symbols, human words, human war codes. They checked his past records. Telrin had never studied human languages. He had never even met a human. One day, he spoke in perfect English. You should not have looked. Meanwhile, strange things began happening across Kareth Prime. Machines failed. Satellites stopped working. Soldiers had nightmares of fire and screams. Some said they heard voices at night. Human voices. One general went mad and attacked his own base. He shouted, "The war never ended! They're coming back!" The council grew afraid. They blamed the human scan. Dr. Zarin begged them, "Let me study Telrin. We must understand what is happening." But the council leader, Grand, Thinker Soren, said only one thing. No, seal the room. Burn everything. We do not want to understand. We want to survive. But it was already too late. One night, all the screens in the science base turned on by themselves. A human face appeared. Not real. Digital. It looked burned. Its eyes were dark. It spoke one word. Remember. Then the power went out. Back. In the hidden human base near the Kareth moon, a soldier watched the feed from the alien world. "Sir," she said to her commander, "it's working." The signal spread. "Their mind net is breaking." The commander smiled. "They scanned what they were not ready for. Now they carry it inside them." The soldier asked, "What did we put in the ship?" The commander looked serious. "Not a weapon, a memory, a living mind of a soldier who died in the last war. We gave him a ship and a message." She paused. "Let them scan and never forget." Even after the warning, some aliens did not listen. A secret group from the Kareth Empire, known as the Seekers, believed the council was weak. They wanted human war secrets. They believed fear made the empire soft. Leader of the Seekers was Commander Varric, a proud and stubborn alien. He had seen many wars and thought humans were just lucky animals with strong weapons. "They're not gods," Varric told his crew. "They're monkeys with missiles." His ship, the Shadowclaw, was fast, quiet, and built for stealth. It had a hidden scanner, designed to avoid all detection. Their mission: find another human warship, scan it, and take the knowledge back. To the Kareth rebels, after weeks of flying through dead space, they found it. Floating near a black star was a warship, huge, silent, black as night. It had no lights, no signs of life. Just like the first one, Varric smiled. "There it is, a sleeping beast. Let's wake it." His crew hesitated. The stories of the Sarath still haunted them. One officer said, "Sir, what if the warnings were true?" Varric laughed. "Do you fear ghosts?" He gave the order. "Begin the scan." The scanners lit up. They slowly reached out with waves of light and code. They touched the human warship. For 1 second, nothing happened. Then the warship's engines turned on by themselves. One red light blinked. The alien crew froze. "Sir," whispered the pilot. "It's powering up." "But it didn't move," Varric said. "It's still in place. Maybe it's empty." The pilot shook his head. "No, sir. It's watching us." Suddenly, the stars around them twisted. Space bent. A strange force pulled the Shadowclaw forward, straight into the warship. "No engines!" shouted the engineer. "We've lost control!" Shields failing. "Get us out of here!" Too late. The warship opened, like a mouth, and the Shadowclaw disappeared inside. Inside, everything went dark. No lights, no sound, no time. "Commander." Varric opened his eyes. He was still alive. So were the others. But the ship was gone. They were standing in a long, black hallway. The walls looked like metal but felt like skin. The floor pulsed under their feet, like a heartbeat. "Where are we?" one soldier whispered. "This isn't a ship," said another. "It's a body." Then they heard it, a voice, deep, cold, human. "Welcome. You came looking. Now you will see." They ran, but the halls changed. Doors disappeared. Walls moved. The ship was alive, and it was playing with them. They passed rooms filled with broken alien tech. Other ships, dead bodies. Some looked freshly dead. Some were half-changed, as if the ship had used them for something. Varric found a room with writing on the wall, written in blood. It said, "We scanned them. They scanned us. Now we are one." One soldier started screaming, "We have to get out! We have to—" His voice stopped. He froze in place, eyes wide. A shadow moved behind him. Then he was gone. Only 4 aliens were left now. Varric tried to speak to the ship. "What do you want?" The voice returned. "Not want. Remember, you came for our secrets. You came for our minds. So we gave them to you. They saw images on the walls, human soldiers screaming, cities falling, Kareth ships burning planets. The ship showed them everything, every pain, every war, every dead child, every scream. One alien dropped to his knees. "Make it stop, please," the voice said only. "You scanned a memory. Now the memory scans you." Back in space, the warship closed its mouth. From the outside, it looked calm again, silent, harmless, no sign of the Shadowclaw. Another message was sent into the void, repeating every hour. "Curiosity is a weapon. Scanning is permission. Enter and be remembered." Commander Varric opened his eyes. He was lying on a cold black floor. The light was red and dim, like blood dripping through smoke. His head ached. His hands were shaking. He looked around. 3 crew members were gone. Only one soldier, a young one named Relic, was still alive. Or at least breathing. Relic's eyes were wide open. He didn't blink. He didn't speak. Varric crawled to him. "Relic, can you hear me?" Relic slowly turned his head. He spoke with a voice that was not his. "You shouldn't have come here." Varric froze. That voice wasn't Kareth. It was human. The ship if it was a ship, pulsed like a living creature. Its walls moved slightly, like slow breathing. Strange lights flickered inside the floor. Red veins ran across the walls like blood vessels. Varric stood up. He reached for his weapon, but it had melted. Just wires and dust. The hallway ahead was dark, but it was the only way forward. He grabbed Relic's arm. "Come with me. We're getting out." Relic followed, silent. But sometimes he whispered, in English, words Varric didn't understand. "He sees you. He remembers." He's still angry. As they walked, the ship showed them rooms, each one like a nightmare. One room had Kareth scientists, frozen in time, staring at old human tech. Their eyes were wide, and their mouths were open, like they died screaming, but they were still standing. Another room had alien children, holding small data tablets. The screens played Earth war videos again and again. The children did not move. Their faces had no skin. Varric shouted, "Why are you showing me this? What do you want?" The walls answered in a low, shaking voice. Truth. They entered a massive chamber. At the center was something that looked like a heart, but it was metal. Wires, bones, and bits of armor spun around it. It pulsed slowly. Relic walked toward it. Varric yelled, "Stop!" But Relic touched it. Suddenly, a blast of images hit both of them. Memories fast and loud screaming into their minds, human soldiers in trenches, bombs falling, cities burning, Kareth warships raining fire, children crying in dust, brave humans dying with pride, and then a face, a human face, a man in a black helmet. His eyes burned with fire. He spoke, "I was Captain Raynor Black. I died fighting your ships. My body burned, but my mind lived. They placed me here. Now I am memory. Now I am trap." Varric fell to his knees. "You're a ghost." "No," the voice said. "I am a warning." "Then let us go," Varric begged. The voice replied, "You came to steal. You came to scan. You wanted our secrets. Now, you will carry them." Relic turned to Varric. His eyes glowed red. "You're not going back, sir." "Relic?" But it wasn't Relic anymore. Raynor's mind had taken his body. "You will be my messenger," Raynor said. "You will go home and tell them. If they come again, we won't just remember. We will act." The walls opened. A hallway lit. With soft red light appeared. Varric had a choice: walk forward and live, but carry the message or stay and become part of the ship forever. He chose to walk. Outside, Varric woke up in an escape pod, floating in space. The human warship was gone. Not even a shadow remained. His pod was found a day later by a Kareth patrol ship. They brought him back, but something was wrong. He no longer spoke like Varric. He spoke in simple, cold sentences. His voice carried weight. He told the council everything. And at the end, he said only, "Don't look again, don't scan again, or we will become your war." The Kareth High Council sat in silence. Commander Varric stood before them, his eyes cold, his voice flat. He had returned from the human warship, but he was not the same. He repeated the warning again. Don't scan them. Don't follow them. Don't wake the dead. Some council members looked afraid. Others did not believe. High Thinker Soren leaned forward. You expect us to fear old human memories? The war is over. They are weak now. We have technology. We have numbers. Varric's lips did not move, but he spoke. You have no idea what they left behind. Later that night, in secret, the council met without Varric. They argued. They use fear as a weapon, said one. It's all psychological warfare, said another. They plant ideas, trick the mind. Then, Grand Strategist Nelthar spoke. I say we test again, one last time, but this time We don't scan a ship. We send a probe. A remote scan. No one aboard. The room was quiet. Then Soren nodded. Do it. Quietly. No records. Far away, in deep space, the probe was launched. It was small, fast, and had no brain, only sensors. It searched for the same type of human warship. It took 3 days. Then, it found something. Not one ship. 3. All silent. All waiting. The E probe began scanning. At first, the data came slowly. Harmless. Hull material. Weapon structure. Power systems. Then, the screen blinked. Error unknown code detected. Probe memory corrupted. And then, something worse. The probe turned around, on its own. Back at the Kareth base, the control room alarms went off. Sir, the probe is sending a new signal. What? Kind of signal? It's not ours. It's human. The signal wasn't a message. It was a virus. A memory code built from emotion, pain, and human war history. It entered their system like a ghost. Screens went black, then red. Then one sentence appeared on every display. We warned you. Machines went wild. Factory robots started attacking engineers. AI networks began showing strange human faces. One robot drew a skull on the wall and wrote in human English, "The past is alive." Commander Varek, now locked in a secure room, smiled. But it wasn't his smile anymore. He said to the guard outside, "You didn't listen." The virus spread fast. It hit the Kareth military cloud. War satellites turned. Defense grids shut down. Missile silos opened by themselves. Cities went dark. A council member screamed, "Shut it off!" But the head scientist fell to his knees. "We can't. It's not code. It's a mind." On the main tower, High Thinker Soren watched the chaos. He whispered, "What have we done?" Then he looked up and saw something on the horizon. In the sky above the capital, a human face appeared in the clouds. Not real. A signal. But clear. It was the face of Captain Raynor Black, and he was smiling. Kareth Prime was in chaos. Power systems failed. Weapons turned against their own people. Factories exploded. Satellites spun out of control. Everything touched by the probe's signal became haunted. Haunted not by ghosts, but by human memory. One by one, entire cities went dark. The High Council, hid in a mountain bunker, thick walls, deep underground, protected by ancient codes, but even there the signal found them. Their screens showed a message, repeating again and again. "We warned you. You scanned memory. Now memory scans you." Far away in deep space, a small scout ship watched everything from a safe distance. It belonged to the neutral species, the Valari, peaceful observers who never took sides. On board was Scholar Tenra, an old, wise being with long silver skin and eyes that changed with thought. She spoke softly to her recorder. The Kareth touched something older than they understood. They believed humans were like them. But humans are different. She paused. They do not forget. Back on Kareth Prime, Commander Varek stood at the main control tower. Alarms screamed around. Soldiers ran, machines attacked. Varek, or what was left of him, was calm. He looked at the burning skyline and said in a human voice, "They should have listened. Now they will learn." He pressed a button on his wrist. A transmitter lit up. It sent one final message into space, clear and strong. To all species. Do not scan human warships. Do not study their pain. Their memory is alive. It learns. It adapts. It spreads. The message reached far. Valari scholars heard it. Zorth merchants heard it. Even the ancient minds of the Zaltur, deep inside star crystals, paused to listen. For the first time in 3,000 years, every species stopped scanning human signals. The galaxy went silent. One last ship, a rogue science vessel from the Varnak Union, tried to decode the message. They filtered it through machines. At first, it was just words. Then, the scientists began to dream strange dreams. Then they stopped speaking. Then they began to smile. The same human smile. Their last log said, "We understand now. We're part of the memory." Then the ship vanished. On Earth, no one said a word. The humans knew. They never sent the warships. They never turned them on. The ships turned themselves on, made from old memories, filled with lost minds. They drifted through space, quiet and dark, waiting, watching. The galaxy was quiet. No more probes. No more scans. No more brave scientists trying to unlock the secrets of human warships. Across 100 star systems, fear had spread like a shadow. Even the bravest empires stayed silent. They had learned one thing: you don't wake what remembers. High. Above Earth, the last human warship floated in orbit, cold, black, and silent. No lights, no crew, no sound, but deep inside. It was awake. It remembered everything, every scream, every betrayal, every soldier who died, every child lost in fire. All of it lived inside, not as data, but as soul. Back on Kareth Prime, survivors wandered the ruined cities. Machines were quiet. Now, the virus was gone, but the memory was not. In schools, children drew human faces without knowing why. In dreams, people saw red lights and burning skies. Some whispered names they had never heard, and every night in the sky, one red dot blinked. The last warship, watching, waiting. Far away, the Valari held a council. Scholar Tenra stood before her people. "We must share the truth," she said. "Humans have passed beyond war, beyond machines. What they left behind is not a weapon. It is a warning." "Then what are the warships?" someone asked. Tenra looked up. "They are graves. They are memories. They are us, if we ever forget what war costs." Back on Earth, deep in the human memory archives, a child asked her teacher, "Why don't we make warships anymore?" The teacher smiled softly. "We don't need to. Our memories fight for us now. Some say the warships drift forever. Some say they will one day wake again if the galaxy forgets the warning. Some say they are watching your thoughts, even now. Because in the end, humans learned something no other species dared to try. They turned pain into power. They turned loss into memory. They turned memory into weapon, and they never forget."